All right, let's get right into it. We need to talk about a pretty major change that's reportedly coming with the iPhone 17. Apple is totally rethinking the tiny little SIM card, and what it means for you, well, that's going to depend entirely on where you are in the world.
And yeah, that quote really nails it, doesn't it? This isn't just some minor tweak we're talking about. It's a fundamental shift in how our phones actually connect to mobile networks. And Apple, they're rolling this out in a very, very interesting way, region by region.
So, what's the big deal here? For what, decades now, we've all been using these little physical SIM cards, right? Those tiny plastic chips you have to pop into a tray. Well, the future, at least according to Apple, is the eSIM. It's basically a digital SIM that's built right into the phone's hardware. For Apple, this is a huge win. Getting rid of that physical tray saves a ton of precious internal space. Maybe for a bigger battery or other tech, it even helps with water resistance. And for you, it means switching carriers can be practically instant.
Okay, first up, let's look at the regions where Apple is just going all in. I mean, completely removing the physical SIM tray for good.
And you know, this is a huge deal. For millions and millions of people, the next iPhone they buy will literally be the first phone they've ever owned without a slot for a physical SIM card. It's Apple's boldest move yet into a completely digital mobile future.
So who's in this first wave? We're talking about some of Apple's biggest markets. If you're in the United States, Canada, Japan, Mexico, Saudi Arabia, or the UAE, your iPhone 17 is looking like it's going to be an eSIM-only device, period.
And the list keeps going. It expands across the Middle East to include Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, and Qatar, and even U.S. territories like Guam and the Virgin Islands. This just shows you this isn't some small test run. It's a major, strategic, regional rollout.
But okay, not everyone is being pushed to make the switch right away. In a lot of other places around the world, Apple is taking a much more gradual approach with what you could call a hybrid model, basically giving people a choice.
In this hybrid approach, that's what you'll see in most of Europe, and also in places like Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, and South Korea. Over there, the iPhone 17 will support the new eSIM tech, but it's also going to keep that familiar physical SIM tray. So you get the best of both worlds, maximum flexibility.
Now this is where it gets really interesting. Among all these global trends, the all-in regions and the hybrid regions, there's one massive market that is doing its own thing completely.
So, which country stands out from the crowd? The reason for this big exception really just boils down to some very specific local rules.
And that country is China. Because of local regulations there, Apple is going to stick exclusively with the traditional physical SIM tray for all the iPhone 17 models sold in the country. That means no eSIM, no hybrid model, just the classic setup we've known for years. So, we've got these three really clear strategies based on what region you're in. But there's one final twist to this whole story, and it applies to one specific new model, no matter where on earth you buy it. You might be thinking you have the full picture now, right? But in classic Apple fashion, it looks like there's one more thing that kind of changes the game for a particular new device in the lineup.
And this is where we really see Apple's long-term vision. The rumored new iPhone 17 Air model, it's reportedly going to be eSIM-only worldwide, no exceptions, not in the hybrid regions and not even in China. This model looks like it's going to be the true global ambassador for a future without any physical SIM cards at all.
Which brings us to the final question. And this one's for you. If you had the choice, would you jump on the digital convenience of an eSIM, for easy travel and switching carriers? Or would you stick with that familiar physical card that you can just pop into another phone? It's a trade-off we're all going to be thinking about as this new era of phone connectivity starts to unfold.